Let's take a look at all of the alternate builds I could find for the LEGO Star Wars set, Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. So this will be a multi-part series. This is part one. You can see I've spent a lot of time building out all of these. In this video, I will name these or provide the title of all of these, the original designer of the alternate build, and then I'll also link to the free instructions for you if you'd like to build these yourself. So here's a quick look at the original. This is a battle pack, so strong emphasis on the minifigures, but we do have a cool landing craft included as well. And you'll see a lot of these alternate builds are just kind of different versions of a landing craft. So you're going to hear an acronym LAAT quite a bit, which stands for Low Altitude Assault Transport. So there are quite a few of these here. But let's dive right into it. Let's get to the first one. So right away, this one is a Night Trooper LAAT, and this is by the creator isobricks. So we still have the spots for the minifigures on either side and the cockpit, but there's a much more dramatic tail section. It's got a little bit of a helicopter vibe going on. So that is our first one. And next up, well, this one is a little different. When I first saw this one, I thought, hey, that looks a bit like the Batmobile, but this one actually is Blade Runner inspired. It's called the Blade Runner Flying Car by Eric05, but you can certainly see it has design sensibilities of a land speeder, or, you know, a Batmobile land speeder. So that one's a nice change of pace and good use of that windscreen in the middle. All right, next up. So here we have, this is an LAAT Patrol Gunship by rneptune. So this vehicle has an open spot here, a little bit more, you know, along the lines of some of those Clone Wars vehicles. We see a very open center point for the minifigures. Makes me think of Episode 2 a little bit. And we've got a tail section added as well. All right, so that was Patrol LAAT Patrol Gunship by rneptune. Okay, I've got to say, when I first saw this one, I was like, this is like bobsledding. This is like Star Wars bobsledding. So this one is called a Hover Support Vehicle, and it's by Roscoe311. It just really has a little bit of a sled look to it. We've got the pilot up front here, and they're enclosed, but then we have the riders in the back. They're out there with the elements, I guess. But really neat profile, and it does remind me a lot of bobsledding for some reason. Let me know in the comments if you see that or agree with that. Okay, next we have, this is a dropship again. So this dropship is by the builder Naxatect. So we have seats for the minifigures on the sides, and these wings kind of flare up in the back. Oh, one neat thing about this build is, so it has this angled windscreen in the front, and it uses excuse me, this round plate to kind of secure the windscreen in the front and to create a nice angle for sort of a different appearance. So that was a nice touch with this vehicle. All right, we're heading to the second row here, and we've got, for the first one, the Night Trooper Starfighter, and this one is by the creator MicahVawter. So it kind of reminds me of those droid starfighters a little bit. Got the cockpit here and some aggressive wings. and kind of this bank of thrusters in the rear of the vessel. And I guess these are maybe rear-facing blasters, or maybe they're also, you know, kind of an engine type of thing. So that is the, Night Trooper Starfighter by MicahVawter. Okay, and now here we have one. This one is a little flatter than some of the other ones. This one is Rogue Shadow 2, and it's by Eric05, who also designed a different vehicle in this video. So you can see it's kind of like flattened out, but also quite wide. So it's funny, like whenever there are these wide vehicles, it gives the illusion there's more pieces than there actually are. Like somehow the piece count expanded, but it hasn't. This is still just one set. So we've got a nice profile here. Got that forked kind of front to the Starfighter and some nice angling of wings and such. So that's Rogue Shadow 2 by Eric05. Okay, next up here we have another gunship. So this one is just like a redesigned gunship by the creator Shimiiooo. I don't know, there's a lot of I's and O's in that name. So we got that open spot in the middle, but then also a spot where the minifigures can ride on the side. And then there's some kind of like flaps or fins in the rear of the vehicle. And still that big cockpit in the front, like many of these dropships. Okay, and then next up we have a different gunship, and this one is by Will_crafting. So we have a really wide open space in that middle, you know, kind of along the lines of some of those Clone Wars vehicles. I like the added touch of having the blaster storage back there too. That's always nice. A little bit of a tail section added to this vehicle too. And those front-facing blasters, and a lot of the wings are up front. So this is a much more open concept dropship as well. All right, next up we have a patrol gunship, and this is by beachtrooper. So this has a couple of things going on. We still have a similar cockpit up front. There's a little bit of space for minifigures in the middle, but then there's space in the back of the vehicle. You know, you could a minifigure could kind of hang out there, take a seat, that kind of thing. Oops, sorry. Doing this midstream. Well, anyway, there's a few spots here where you could have minifigures go kind of to the side, up front certainly. Yeah, so just different style gunship here. And that one is by beachtrooper. And now I just feel like I should get this done. All right, there, I did it. So somebody can hang out in the back like that if you wanted them to. Okay, now going to the back row, we have a few different ones going on here. All right, so for this one, we have a walker and a hoverboat. So that's kind of neat. Here's the hoverboat. It's got kind of the two skis to the hoverboat, front-facing blasters. Kind of simple but cool. Simple, elegant vehicle for a minifigure to pilot there. And then here we have a walker that's reasonably stable. I just have to see, it's got the wide base for the feet, so it can stand pretty well, and then it has the articulation of the feet too with the ball and socket. Now this is designed for the this is designed for the, oh, let's see. No, I'm actually thinking of a later one, sorry. Well, anyway, we've got a nice spot for a minifigure there. Yeah, that's right here. There, I adjusted that too high. So it's sort of like a chicken walker type of vehicle for minifigures here, along with a hoverboat for something different. All right, and then, all right. Oh, and that was by Roscoe 311, which we saw earlier. And then here we have a V-wing. And this one is by Adharan. So we actually got a Starfighter, nice elongated shape to it. And then here, this one is like a little pod. And it's a drop pod by Camobricktape. It is designed for this to be removable. And then last, this is a Starship. This one's just called Starship by Dorothy 6. All right, so that is what we have for the first video.